Hey everybody, welcome back. Lori at Not Forgotten Farm, another Crafty Saturday. I have my girls with me here. This is Miss Carolyn. Say hello.
Hello.
I've got Miss Kathleen. Miss Joni's here again with us.
Hi.
We're going to go around, tell you a little bit what we're working on, and just see what kind of trouble we can get into. So hang on.
She would.
I know. Hey Miss Joni.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing okay, thanks.
Good. You're working on a completely different project than what you were working on last week.
Well, I work on 6 different things at a time.
You know, a lot of us do that. I'm glad we're in good company. What are you doing?
This week I am doing a Kathy Schmidt's design. It's a bird embroidered pincushion.
Mm-hmm. Pretty.
And
let's see your work.
well, I haven't done much so far.
But that's okay.
Just that little bit. Just started it.
Isn't that pretty?
Nice.
Put that down on the thingy for me because I want to get a close-up of Kathy's fabric. So this is actually Kathy's fabric.
Fabric, yes.
So it's called Crackle, I believe, isn't it?
I believe so.
And it's
Moda Crackle Natural, number 5746.
There you go. I can actually see that on the selvage edge.
Yeah.
Perfect. You're doing a chain stitch?
A stem stitch right now,
stitch.
and then there are just some chain stitches and a French knot, and it's very simple.
Very simple, but so pretty. And the pattern, can I see the pattern front again?
Sure.
Just because it looks so like calligraphy.
It does.
She's a very talented little girl.
It's also in her book.
Oh yeah,
I
yep.
have the book here, and the patterns in it. It's,
Simple Pleasures in Red Work.
yeah, and there are loads of good patterns in
Yeah,
there.
turn that over so we can see the ISBN number. Hold it still for me and I'll get the ISBN so that the girls, if they want to see this up on Amazon or maybe one of their quilt shops, they can go ahead and see that. And there's that over there. All right, excellent.
So I'm doing these for the gathering on September 15th here at the farm.
Yeah, that's coming soon, isn't it?
Yeah,
Good grief.
right around the corner.
Yay.
Good grief. I know, right? So what is that little book that you have over there, your needle book? Punch needle?
Oh, this I did. This is one of your patterns I did a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It's a needle book.
Oh, that's
and
the little
needle
gray
punch.
house pattern. That's right.
Right, and then inside.
Good job.
That is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Good job. I
I
like
like
that
to do
fabric
that.
too. It's fun.
You
You guys
so
could do
could
that. You actually could do it.
I can do it.
So we have
anybody.
these two fools over on this side here. Now, they just strolled on in here today. Didn't actually come with anything to work on, so I put them to work. So Kathleen is doing the embroidery stitching that I've been doing.
The little pumpkin here.
Yeah, and Carolyn's just kind of futzing around with some basic cross stitch
On linen.
on linen. No, actually, I think that's Osnaburg. I'm
It's
gonna
very
come around.
tiny,
It's very tiny.
and I'm practicing.
Well, that's okay. I'm gonna come around and look.
Practice makes perfect, remember?
Yes,
Well, that's
There
what
you
they
go.
say. That's what
yes.
they
And
say.
unfortunately, I don't have my glasses, so it's really interesting and entertaining and fun.
Well, you know, the reason, if you look at the other stitches that are on that, that is, I'm calling my humble stitching right here. Let me turn this so we can see it. It's funny that you even mentioned that because these stitches right here are the ones that I call the uncounted cross stitch.
Oh, okay.
So they're freehand. I'm not counting 2, I'm not counting 3, I'm not counting 4. I'm just making an X.
That's wonderful.
So
Well, I
that's,
think I would be good at the freehand.
it's super simple to do the freehand. As a matter of fact, let me show you a thingy that I got over here. I'll be right back. Okay, so back with this real primitive cross stitch that I call freehand cross stitch or uncounted cross stitch. Just another form of needlework embroidery kind of stuff. These are done by drawing a design on the fabric and then filling it in with these wonky little cross stitches that I do. And this is a pocket, sparrow pocket that I have pattern for.
Look how
And
primitive.
Kathleen is holding my old friend pattern that I did of
love
a
it.
kitty. And that's filled with sawdust, of course. And there's my yucky
Wonderful.
back. But that's how fun that is. I mean, just, you know,
And you're
drop.
still working on this one?
That's a work in progress. As Joan mentioned, you know, we have 40 different projects going at one time. Isn't that right? Usually,
Absolutely.
yeah, usually.
And that's just the embroidery and cross stitch. Then
And
it's
we-
the rug
yeah.
hooking.
Oh my God, we can't even get into that rug
A little bit
hooking.
of everything. Oh, that's just so primitive
neat?
looking. I love that.
Isn't that
Makes
nice?
it looks old.
Yeah, we tea stained it.
This
We
would definitely take the pressure off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, for somebody that doesn't want to necessarily count,
Right.
but still wants a nice primitive
Bright
look.
colors and-
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it really does make it look older.
It does.
More
Yeah.
antique-y.
Yeah.
Real naive, like a schoolgirl sampler
Yes,
kind of
uh-huh.
thing. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
yep.
Love it.
All
The
right. Well,
stand
thank
is
you,
wonderful.
girls.
Thank you,
for
Lori.
having us.
Come back and see us, okay?
Love it. Oh, that one's too long.
Thanks for coming back. Those girls were fun. Kathleen and Carolyn are friends from Roanoke, Virginia. They're rug hookers and stitchers, and I'm always happy to see, my friends come in and visit with us. As you can tell, I have changed my clothes, and I am outside. It's hot, but I need some fresh air. I've been stuck in here in the AC too long. I need fresh air. So, last week at the end of the video I had told you, or maybe the beginning of the video, I had mentioned to you that I wanted to share with you some of the rug hooking that I've been doing, and, talk about the tools that Peter makes and all for that. But, being that it's so hot, I can't possibly bring myself to put a piece of wool within 3 inches of me. So, instead, I have been doing my embroideries. And I know that a lot of you have been asking about classes, tutorials, videos, that kind of thing. So I am going to be offering online classes for my embroideries, these kinds of things right here. I'm actually working on her husband. Here's her husband. So, yeah, as soon as I get them finished, and I will figure out the platform that I want to put the video classes up on, I will get back with you about that. But short and sweet, I'm going to do just a tiny little demo of some silly things that I do that make my life a lot easier. One of them is threading my needle. Now you may think that, sorry, the roosters are crowing like crazy. They don't know what time it is. They don't know how to tell time. It's actually 11 something. One of the things that I do is, and girls that have taken classes from me before, they are familiar with me doing things a little crazy, but I don't thread my needle, I needle my thread. So what that means is even across the top, or pretty much even across the top. If they're not, then cut them. But again, I'm just bringing those threads right down to in between my fingers where you can hardly see them. And then I'm putting my needle eye right over them. It worked. Yay. So that's one of the things I do. The other thing I do is I make a spit knot. I don't know why I call it that, but take the end, I'm using all 6 strands, take the end, wrap it around. Spit knot is because I had already spit on my finger from, DNA is everywhere. Okay, this guy. The majority of the stitches that I use for these are split stitch. Super simple stitch. You make a stitch, and then you come up from behind, and you split your previous stitch, and then you make another stitch, and so on. I'm going to show you on the classes and the videos that I'll be doing. I usually use only a couple. So okay. Split stitch, number 1. I use it to outline it, and I use it to fill it. It fills up quick, fills up nice. It's really, really pretty textural. You can see it in there. The other stitch I use is a basic satin stitch. It's not a padded satin stitch. It's just all 6 strands of floss and filling in. The other stitch I use is a French knot or colonial knot. Super simple to do those too. Those will be included in the tutorials that I'm doing. What else? Yeah. Split stitch, split stitch, satin stitch, French or colonial knot is pretty much the stitches that I use. So this girl, you can see here, I've done just tiny little random, almost seed stitches. Just bring it up, put it back down, wherever you want. Her basket is split stitch, but it's going this way, you know, horizontally. Her dress is all going split stitch vertically. I like to do the vertical faces for pumpkins because it, you know, I don't know, just makes it look more like a pumpkin, I guess. So yeah, so that's that. So, when I do the video classes for the embroidery, I'm also going to include how I finish the hoops, you know, how I finish them neatly by bringing all this around and putting a pretty back on them. And I'll be including other things as well. I'm going to have to cut it short here because we are going to have a storm and a half. The sky has just gotten very, very cloudy, and I'm going to gather up all my goods and get it into the farmhouse. So again, we thank you for being with us. This week was short and sweet. We've been busy playing catch up with a lot of things. We thank you for tuning in, and thank you for your support. It means so much to us. Your friendship and your support means so very much to us. So from Peter and I and everybody here at the farm, and the big winds that are coming, we'll see you next time. Happy stitching. Bye.